What's up, everybody? This is Rock the Barber coming at you with another barber tutorial. This is the before, this is the after. To achieve this cut, you need to stay tuned and watch this whole video. Alright, to get started, what we're going to do is comb the hair in the direction we want to get it to lay. So in this instant, he wants to comb over. We're going to part it where it needs to be parted. You can show your client, and then he can be like, yeah, that's fine. Then you go from there. So I started with my number 2 guard. I'm going all the way around, making sure everything is nice and even. He had a lot of hair, so it's gonna take a while. Right here, I didn't really get to record this very good, but I basically started from the middle of his head, took it all the way back, and then I get the sides done. So I go towards the middle, finish everything, go towards the right side of his head, finish the rest of that, match it, make sure it's all even since you already made the guideline in the middle. Then you go to the left side, do the same thing. It's a little hard to explain, I'm not gonna lie. I'll do another video to get more in depth with that. Right here, I'm going in with my Slimline Pros, making my guideline all the way around where I want to set it at. Make sure you get everything nice and skin. Right here, he did have a lot of hair, so what I do is grab my masters, close them all the way, and I start to bald them out with that. And then either way, you're gonna come back over it with the slim lines. I just don't like that sometimes your slim lines could get clogged up, so that was the reasoning behind that. Then when you're done with that, you want to make sure you grab your Bronze Series 9 or your shavers, whatever shavers you got, and go around the whole head. Just make sure you don't take it all the way up to that guideline. So before you get to that first bald line, you want to flick out into it. That way you don't leave a harsh line with your shavers. Right here, I go with my lever all the way open, set my first guideline. I'm going to set that all the way around the head, make sure everything's nice and even. After you're done with that step, you want to go ahead and close your lever all the way, and you want to flick out. I usually like to use my corners and flick out all the time. It's the easiest way to get this guideline out. And if that doesn't take it out and you see another guideline on top, you can open your lever a tad bit, maybe halfway if you want to. Use your corners and you'll see that line disappear all the way. Another thing I could probably say is don't try to stay on this guideline for too long, because you can probably be here for like 10 minutes, you won't even notice it because you're trying to perfect it so much. So try not to focus on this too long. Just try to take that out as much as possible, because either way, when you're done with the haircut, when you're done lining them up, you're going to come back and you're going to detail with the blade all the way open. So that's when you're really going to have to pay attention. So just try to get through this as fast as possible. That way when you come back to detail, you'll make everything perfect. After you're done with this step, you want to go in with your number 1 guard all the way open. Just repeat the same step. You have to bring it all the way over the head. Make sure everything's even. Make sure everything is neat, straight. I tend to, once I'm done doing it all the way open, I tend to close my lever all the way. And I try to make that bottom line, you see that dark line right in the middle? I try to make that go away as much as it can, because it's not going to, the number 1 guard all the way closed is not going to take that out. But it is going to make it start to fade away. And that's what you really want. Right here, I go with my number 2 guard again. Just making sure everything is the way I want it, the symmetrical. I'm going with the shape of his head. Then right here, I'm going in with my number 1 guard again, and I'm trying to take out all the dark spots that had been left after I put the number 2 on top. So when you put the number 1 and then you put a number 2 on top of it, there's still going to be a slight line. So what I do is just use my number 1. I use the corners. Make sure your number 1 is all the way open. And then I use my corners and I try to take that out as best as possible. And most of the time it is going to come out. You just have to flick out. If you don't flick out and you're just going straight up out on it, it's most likely going to leave another line. And that's just going to make your job harder. So use your corners. Number 1 all the way open. Now when you're done doing all that, you want to go ahead and line them up. Line up your C-cups. Make sure everything is symmetrical. Make sure they're even on both sides. And this is going to determine the whole cut. This is what's going to make everything pop up. You're going to see all the lines in the fade. You're going to see all dark spots. Then I come over with the razor to make sure everything looks super sharp. Then you go into detail, like I said, make everything perfect. This client does not get a line up on his forehead as well. So this is why I'm only lining up his sides. Now this is where everything comes together, the detailing. You want to make sure you go in with your blade all the way open. Try to take out that line as much as possible. Sometimes it'll take it out, sometimes it won't. If it does not, what you want to do is go ahead and close your lever just a tad bit. So you don't want to close it all the way. You want to open your lever, close it just a little bit. Try to take out that guideline. If that does not take out the guideline, you want to close your lever halfway, and then you keep going down and down and down until that line goes away. So sometimes you won't even have to close your lever at all. Sometimes you can take that out with your lever all the way open, but it all depends on the client. Everybody has different hair, everybody has different textures, so everybody's gonna have a different outcome. Right here I still see some lines and I see some dark spots, so I'm going to go ahead with my lever all the way open on my number 1 guard. That doesn't take it out. I'm going to close it all the way, which I have it closed. And you're only going to use your corners. Like I say in every other video, you don't use your full blade because that can create another guideline. Using your corners is a safer way to make everything cleaner. All the way open, then close it all the way, only using corners. If that doesn't take it out, grab your 0 guard, open all the way, then close it all the way, and try to take it out as much as possible. Right here I'm doing the same steps I did on one side. What you do to one side, you do to the other. All the way open. That doesn't take out the line, I'm gonna close it just a little bit. That doesn't take it out, I'm gonna close it halfway, and then I'll close it all the way if I have to. But this is basically how I fade. This is how I go into detail. The lever all the way open is what saves a whole haircut for me. Without this, I don't even think I'd be able to do a nice fade. And then right here I'm going again, see, lever all the way open with the dark spots I see on top, and then I'll close it as I need to, only using my corners. Make sure you repeat the same steps. I'm doing my C-cup. Make this as sharp as possible. I use my razor to make it even sharper. The razor does come and leave a closer cut. Take out all the stubbles already. And then I go into detail with my blade all the way open. All the way open. If that doesn't take it out, close it. Keep closing it as you need to. And that's really all. That's really the best way I can explain this. Lever all the way open. Close it every single notch you can. until you see it come out. Use your corners, flick out. If you use your full blade, you're making another guideline. You don't want to do that. Use your corners. And yeah, I can't stress it enough. Use your corners. Right here I left some more spots up top, so I'm going in with my lever all the way open on my number 1 guard. That doesn't take it out. I'm going to go all the way closed, and I'm only using my corners. And then if that doesn't take out the line, or I still see some dark spots, I'm going to go ahead, open my lever on my 0 guard all the way open using my corners. See right here I'm using my 0 guard all the way open. That doesn't take it out. You saw how I just closed that? Closed it as I need to. That's going to take out everything. And then remember, you're not timed on this. You don't have to be the fastest fader ever. You don't, as long as everything comes out perfect, everything's up to you. Okay, so you could take 2 hours on this haircut. Trust me, when I first started, I was doing like 2-hour haircuts, trying to make it as perfect as possible. They weren't perfect, but you know, I was learning. It's a whole learning process. It's trial and error. Right here I'm gonna go with my number 3 guard, and what I'm basically doing is flicking out of the hair. So I'm just basically softening up that hard line up top, because his hair is gonna come over to that side either way, so I'm gonna have to come back with shears and make everything even. But with the number 3 guard, I'm just gonna soften up that line as best as possible. Now for clipper and comb, all I can say is don't dig in the hair. So when you grab your comb, put it up into his hair, and then you're gonna try to bring the comb out to you. That way you're not digging into his scalp, because if you dig into his scalp, you can leave a big patch. You can ruin the whole shape of how his comb over is gonna go. So make sure you don't dig in. Make sure you bring that comb towards you. Take it out little by little. This is baby steps. You don't gotta rush it. Baby steps. Then right here, I'm wetting the hair in the direction it's supposed to go. That way I could get everything with the shears. See right here, he likes some of his hair to hang over, so I'm not gonna go too deep into that either. But the back right here, by the back of his head, I'm gonna definitely make sure all that blends in perfect. And then we're basically almost done. This thing came out blurry. This joint's looking real nice. And then right here, since he doesn't get the front line up, I'm just gonna cut those little hairs in the front just to make it more of a natural cut. And then with the razor, I'm gonna just line up the box basically. Make sure you brush all that off, the debris. Go over it one more time. That way you make sure that it's really sharp. You're just going to repeat the same process on the other side and make sure both sides are even. That way when he looks in the mirror, he sees everything is symmetrical. Right here, I'm just going to detail the cut a little more by using the shears. But this is basically the final product. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That thing came out real blurry, real nice. So I hope you guys learned a thing or two from this. Thank you for watching. This is Eric the Barber, and I'll see you next time. Peace.